When doing squash and stretch for a head, you want to make sure that you do the squash and stretch on the head layer itself and not on the bone control layer. Now, one artifact that will create is that if you're using bones to control the positions of the eyes and the pupils, the head will stretch out of position with respect to those bones. That's not too much of a problem because the bones will still control the elements as they should. It's just that they look off center if there's squash and stretch going on. But squash and stretch is not something that you will keep in position. You normally stretch and then come back, so that's not much of a problem. However, if you do squash and stretch on the bone layer, you can get some problems. Here's an example of what can happen. In frame 12, I've rotated the layer and translated the layer. Now I'm going to use the squash and stretch smart bone to try to do squashing and stretching, but you'll see the jumping. That jumping is not the video, it's what's happening in the program. And you can get all other kind of problems. When we look at the action for the squash and stretch, we see that the problem is right here, the layer scaling was done on the bone layer. Now if we remove that keyframe from the bone layer instead and do the squash and stretch on the layer where the vector is, we'll get better results. So here we're back at that same frame, and I'm going to now go and manipulate the squash and stretch, and that works as I expect. And in fact, the other thing that you want to do is you really want to bind to the bone if you can for doing that squash and stretch. Hope that helps.